If you work in quality control at a candy factory, you know strict safety regulations come with the job. It's why you partner with Grainger. Grainger helps you find the high-quality and compliant products your business needs to inspect, detect, and help correct issues. And the sweetest part is, everyone gets a product that's as safe to eat as it is delicious. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is Live Bet Sunday on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Welcome to Live Bet Sunday here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Grace Remington should be joining us shortly. A lot to do here on this Sunday. Obviously, a Game 7 here, OKC in Denver. Denver off to a very good start here. We'll get to that. PGA Championship, and then we have a bunch of baseball to tip off. We'll get you caught up here on some of these scores here for baseball as Denver does lead 21 to 10 here. 4 minutes and change left in the first quarter. A lot of pressure here on Oklahoma City. Gordon is playing, which, to be honest, I was surprised to see this. Grade 2 hamstring. That is not an injury that you come back from after a day or two. So Gordon is in there. He's moving gingerly, but he has been able to grab a couple rebounds, get to the free throw line in Oklahoma City. They look young. They look tight. It is early, but a great start here for Denver in a tension-filled, pressure-filled Game 7 here with the winner in very good shape here to move to a conference finals and possibly an NBA finals. And not impossible here that the winner of this game wins the whole thing. So an updated number here. OKC is still favored in the game by 1.5 points. So barely minus 130 on the money line. And then a total of 210.5. We closed around 215.5. The over actually took some money, which is unusual for a Game 7. So a very slow start offensively for Denver, for OKC, as Denver is going to go back to the line here, up 21 to 10, with a chance to extend this lead here. Major League Baseball games going on right now. Nationals lead the Orioles 9-4. Orioles have just been awful, have no starting pitching whatsoever. They could fire all the managers they want. They just don't have any pitching. So that is a 9-4 Nationals lead. Braves all over the Red Sox. Red Sox with a good comeback win last night, a win they needed. They have not been playing well, but the Braves respond today. They are up 10-4. Red Sox are a team that's scuffling. Tigers lead the Blue Jays 3-2. They are minus 360 on the money line. The total is 6.5. And then we have the Rays and the Marlins. Marlins leading 5-1. That is in the top of the ninth. So Marlins an out away from finishing that game. The Reds lead the Guardians 3-1. Minus 660 on the money line for the Reds. That's in the top of the eighth with 1 out, 2-run lead for the Reds. Brewers up 4-2 on the Twins, looking to snap what is a 13-game win streak for the Twins. They are minus 1,600 on the money line, or the Brewers. Total is 7.5 there. Royals and Cardinals knotted up at 1. Live total is 4.5. Royals batting in the bottom of the 7th. They are minus 180 favorites. And the Cubs lead the White Sox 2-1. They are batting in the bottom of the 6th, second and third. Nobody out. Total 5.5 there. Cubs huge minus 1,300 favorites. And the games that are about to start, we'll get to some of these. Giants are minus 155 over the Athletics. Total is 9. That is Verlander going against Springs. Springs has been okay away from home. It's at home that's been the problem. Same thing for him. Same thing for Severino. Pitching in that bandbox of a ballpark has been an issue. So if we're going to bet anything here, I'd probably just take the plus 130 on the money line with the A's. That was a bad loss last night as they brought in their stud closer with the ghost runner. He was able to get it to 2 outs, 2 strikes, but walked in the winning run, walk-off win for the Giants, who won it 1-0 with Severino, who got the start for the A's. I would look at Springs under 2.5 earned runs. Like I said, he's been better on the road, so this could be a scenario where 5-6 innings, 2 runs, that's a pitcher's ballpark. I think his numbers are skewed because of all the games he has to pitch in Sacramento, which is obviously very tough on pitchers. As OKC gets a dunk here, a little life in that building, 21-14 now. So OKC maybe has settled this game down with a couple minutes to go in the first quarter. Denver leading by 7. Rockies Diamondbacks. This was a wild game last night. 30 combined runs scored. Colorado, which trailed big, led big. They actually win the game 16-14. You could have gotten some crazy in-game numbers on the Rockies when they're down, I think, 4 runs at one point. Dollander against Kelly, I would actually take the under 9. I don't like playing full game unders, but under 5.5 for the first 5, you have to lay some juice. Dolander was really good last time out against Texas. He's a big-time prospect. Now, who knows if that'll ever come to fruition, playing in Colorado, playing in Coors, playing for that awful, awful team. Who knows if he can ever develop. I actually saw him pitch a couple times last year in Double-A. He pitched for the Connecticut Double-A farmhand the year ago. He's really impressive in person, was really good the other night. Kelly's been good at home. The Rockies can't really hit despite the game last night. I don't want, as Denver hits a 3 to make it 24-14, I don't want anything to do with this Arizona bullpen. I don't like playing the full game unders, but under 5.5 for the first 5, I think is a good bet as OKC responds here. Looks like Holmgren scores to make it 24-16, minute or so to go here in the first quarter. So under 5.5 there. Rockies and Diamondbacks in the first 5 is a play. Angels going against the Dodgers. Kikuchi against Gonsolin. They were all over Kershaw last night. Kershaw got bombed. The Dodgers lose. Minus 238 here for the Dodgers. And by the way, Arizona is minus 300 on the money line. I'd be careful with that one just because Dolander is pretty good. Dodgers team total over would be the way I would play, if anything. Over 2.5 in the first 5. Over 5.5 for the game as OKC scores again. It's a 7-point game in the final seconds here. I think that's the first 3-pointer OKC has hit. 1 of 7 from 3 now is OKC. So settling in a little bit, trying to stay, if you're down 5-7 after a quarter with how poorly you've played, not the end of the world here. So they're staying within arm's reach here of Denver as they throw the ball away. It looks like it's going to be OKC's ball. So maybe a little momentum here for the Thunder. So it'll be over team total for the Dodgers, first 5. Full game. Angels bullpen has been taxed a bit here, so I would look towards the Dodgers to bounce back and to put up some runs here. Wu against King, good pitching matchup. This would be another one where I would look towards the under, first 5 under maybe. Padres have not played well here these past couple days as OKC gets a 3 from Holmgren that rims out, but they get the putback. It is now a 5-point game. You can tell that building is going crazy. Denver can hold for the last shot, and Oklahoma City is stabilizing here. So it would be Padres or nothing for me in this one. Wu's pretty good. King is pretty good. I would actually, if anything, play an under 7.5, play an under 4 for our first 5, just because I do like that pitching matchup. And I think Wu and King are both guys I like to bet on. I don't love the idea of winning almost $1.50 here with King. So, maybe first 5 money line, but more so an under, first 5 under or full game under. That should be a competitive game in terms of the pitching. Sunday night baseball, Fried for the Yankees, who's been outstanding, going against the Mets with Peterson. Yankees are minus $1.66 favorites here, and the Mets plus 140. Total 9.5. This opened at 9, but the reason it's getting bet up, the wind is a major factor here tonight, and it is very favorable towards the hitters. It's blowing out. It's blowing out towards right field. So I have a Yankee Stadium where it's a short porch in right field to begin with. There's a lot of left-handed bats for both sides. Soto and I guess Lindor will bat right-handed tonight with the lefty going, but Rice and Grisham and Judge can hit the ball the other way. So even though it's moved here, I would still look towards an over 9.5 here with this game, just because I know this game has been this series has been a little more low scoring than you might expect. It was 6-2 on Friday after 7 early runs, and it was 3-2 yesterday with Diaz coming in and striking out the side, or retiring the side. He struck out 2 of the 3, struck out Judge, struck out Wells, threw some nasty breaking balls to Wells, got Judge to chase on a full count. I would look for some runs to possibly be scored tonight. I would still look towards an over 9.5. I don't love the idea of laying $1.66 with Fried, but I do think the Mets, who only scored 2 on Friday, 3 on Saturday, I think they are these hitting conditions, I would say, are conducive to some offense. So over 9.5. I've been impressed with the Yankees the past couple of weeks more than I thought. I think, look, not a lot of starting pitching, but that's a really good lineup. And if they can ever get Devin Williams on track, he's been scoreless 6 of the 7 since he's been demoted from closer. That is a monster bullpen with Loaiza back. Weaver's really good. Cruz has outstanding stuff. You could put yourself in a situation where all you need is really 5 innings, 2 runs from a starter, and you could start to march out these relievers in a big spot in October and be in good shape. So they come into today with a 4-game lead in the loss column over Boston. In the American League, it's who do you like? Who do you trust out of the West? Texas, Seattle, maybe Houston. Detroit's really good. They've got Skubal. They can hit, but I still don't ever trust these American League Central teams in a big spot. So I wouldn't be shocked if the Yankees are somehow headed back to a World Series. I know, look, no Soto, no Cole, haven't had Stan. It was easy to write them off before the season, but with that bullpen and how shaky the American League is, I wouldn't be shocked if the Yankees are playing in October. Now, they'd be huge underdogs against whoever came in the National League, you would think, but that's a long way from here. You would take that if you're the Yankees here, but the Yankees have a chance here to play deep in October with how good this bullpen is. So that's the baseball. These games are underway. We've got Brewers leading the Twins 4-2. Royals just took the lead on the Cardinals 2-1. A's with a man on second in the top of the first. And then Rockies, Diamondbacks, Angels, Dodgers, Mariners, Padres about to start. This is the week with interleague, and it used to be more like this where it's more the traditional rivalries. It's New York versus New York. It's the two Florida teams, Tampa and Miami, playing. The Chicago teams playing each other. Interleague used to be special. It used to be a couple weeks in July, a couple weeks in June. And it was more of it was more special too because the rules were different. Now it's just every day because of the imbalanced leagues, and it gets watered down. There's not the excitement. It used to be special though. The week or two you had it in June, then the week or two in July. It was a lot of fun. It was different, but I do still enjoy these interleague games, especially especially the New York ones are really, really good. So a lot to keep an eye on here. Nuggets now with a 26-23 lead on OKC, and OKC is going to score again to cut it to 1. So what was a 10-point game when we opened the show, 8-9 minutes ago, has now been slashed to a 1-point lead. You figured Denver was going to have a hard time blowing OKC out, especially with a hampered Gordon. That is the case. Is a 10-point lead is now down to 1, and OKC now takes the lead and is back up to right what they were before the game. A 8.5-point live favorite. Total is 206.5. Denver is now plus 220 on the money line with OKC favored at right around minus 300. So a great game 7. You have the contender versus the champ. Denver, obviously a previous champion. OKC looking to get past them and eventually win their own championship. So a lot of drama, the top 2 MVPs. We will keep an eye on this game as the day goes throughout, obviously, and see who goes to the Western Conference Finals. We will be back after this. Live Bet Sunday on VSiN.
This is Live Bet Sunday on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Good afternoon. Welcome back into Live Bet Sunday. I'm Grace. I'm finally here. Will Hill, thank you for holding down the fort. Let's get into these games together, though, right here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. You were talking about this Game 7 going on between the Nuggets and Thunder right now. OKC up 29-26 with about 10 and a half minutes left in the second there. Did you have any bets going into this game, Will?
I did take Denver plus the points. I was nervous because I made the bet and I gave out the bet before I knew that Gordon was hurt. I'm shocked that he's playing. I'm shocked that he's even out there for a grade 2 hamstring, for everything we know about hamstrings. And Shams had the tweet right before the game, hey, this is a month recovery, but he's going to try to play it. He's actually out there. A Denver team that's thin, and he's very important. So it was a smaller bet than it would have been if Gordon was out there and fully healthy. I thought that Denver was live to maybe win the game. I thought when Game 6 ended, I said, OKC probably wins the game in Game 7. I stuck with that. I still like Denver, but I'm very concerned here with the Gordon injury. And we had a stretch here at the end of the first quarter, early second quarter, where Jokic and Murray, neither of them on the court. You can't afford to do this if you're Denver. You just don't have enough of a bench. So I did like Denver plus the points. And OKC has responded here. 8-0 run to start the second quarter. And what was once a 10 or 11 point lead here for the Nuggets is quickly turned into a deficit, a 3-point deficit. Do you have any feel for this game?
I was thinking about taking OKC in the first half. I didn't end up firing away just because I didn't want to play that full 8.5. But first half, home favorites coming off a bad loss in the playoffs go 56%. So that's why I was leaning that way. Looks like it's trending that way. We'll see. But I liked the under even more. Since 2003, road underdogs. Well, the full game under, but also the Denver team total under. Road underdogs have gone under their team total in 21 of 34 Game 7s after the first round, the idea being these are competitive games. Everyone's exhausted. You've seen everyone's hand at this point. You've played all your cards. And right now, the live total is 206.5. So, yeah, it looks like it should be a low-scoring game here. But Aaron Gordon, want to get to some of these stats here. So he is 2 for 3 from the field, 6 points, 5 rebounds with a turnover. Interesting to see him out there. Nikola Jokic, 7 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. I thought with Aaron Gordon being less or limited, we'll call it limited, that we would see more points from Jalen Williams on the OKC side. Only 4 points for him today. I believe his line was 12.5, but so still time to go over that. But any other thoughts here? We're a little under 9 minutes now. OKC up 32-29.
No, just super excited for this series, for this game to reach a game 7, for the series to reach a game 7. It's been an outstanding series. And you've got the subplots, number 1 versus number 2 in MVP, even though it hasn't been announced yet. And it would be a little awkward if OKC ever does lose this game and SGA wins the MVP when he's out of the playoffs. That would be an awkward sort of walk of shame collection of his trophy. So number 1 versus number 2 in MVP. And you have the team in Denver that's won a championship. The champion versus the contender. OKC's trying to become that team. They've been building, and traded all these stars and got back picks. So the champion versus the contender is a fascinating subplot. Just Jokic versus SGA is a great subplot. It's just been great basketball, and I really think maybe it's hampered here a little bit with the Gordon injury. I felt for the last week or so with the way the East was shaking out, the winner of this series probably wins the championship. So it's very possible here this next 2.5 quarters or so decides the NBA champion. Because look, his greatest story is the Knicks and the Pacers are. I have a hard time seeing either one of those teams actually holding up the trophy in the middle of June. Minnesota's good. Maybe I'm dismissing Minnesota, but I think OKC, if they get past this is their test and they'll win it all. And I feel less strongly about Denver just with the Gordon injury, but I do think the winner of this should be favored to win the whole thing.
Yeah, well, right now, looking at the futures market, OKC still is the favorite at plus 125. Then it's the Knicks at plus 360. Minnesota right behind them at 4-1. Pacers 6-1. So obviously that'll all change once we get a result here. But kind of interesting to see those 3 teams kind of grouped together after the Thunder pretty closely in the odds. I did want to get some of these early baseball games in here because I heard you teeing them up. And thanks for doing that. And I did have some plays on these first 2 games, so I was bummed I couldn't get those out there before they threw first pitch. But I heard you mention you liked the A's. That's the bet I made today. I ended up playing them the first 5 plus 120. But I just wanted to kind of take their bullpen out of it because the Giants' bullpen does rate a bit better. But I don't really see much of a difference between these 2 teams at the moment. So that's why I felt like the A's plus 128 is a pretty nice value play here. What did you think?
Yeah, I went with Springs under 2.5 earned runs just because I think he's just been so much better away from home, and you can get him in that pitcher's ballpark in San Francisco. Giants do have an early run here, so 1-0 as we head to the top of the second. So I liked Springs under 2.5 runs, but I agree. I leaned with your A side. First 5, I never have a problem with going with the first 5, just eliminating the bullpens and really isolating your handicap to the starting pitchers unless you see a reason to go otherwise. How about this? The Angels continue to give the Dodgers fits. 3-0 Angels. The Angels have played very well here against LA this weekend. So Gonsolin's been getting hit around here top of the first. Angels still batting 3-0 with a man on base. So the play I like there is Dodgers team total, first 5 over 2.5, full game over 5.5. I do think the Dodgers will score the runs, but surprising to see the Dodgers. Dodgers don't have, for as great as this dream team is, this all-star team, they don't have a lot of starting pitching. I mean, they did have a lot of starting pitching, but Snell hurt, and he's now on the 60-day IL as the OKC Thunder now with a breakaway steal, a dunk, and now they lead by 5. So this game is turned in a hurry. But Sasaki hurt, Glasnow hurt, Snell hurt. It seems like their pitchers are always hurt. It's remarkable how they just can't keep their starters healthy now. It didn't matter last year. They still won a World Series, but eventually it's going to catch up to you where I don't care how good your lineup is. I don't care how much depth you have as Denver responds with the 3. Christian Brown makes it a 2-point game. Dodgers need some pitching. They just can't keep these guys on the mound.
Well, yeah, and that's why they signed 2 full rotations so that they can still win the World Series with like 4 arms. Yeah, my play for this game, though, looking at the difference between Yusui Kikuchi and Tony Gonsolin, I'm kind of actually, this giving up 3 runs in the first inning from Gonsolin here, that is what I expected to see 3 weeks ago. But, going 2 years? He hadn't pitched since 2023.
Right.
But looks like it's catching up to him now. I wanted to find a way to fade Yusui Kikuchi, and I was thinking about taking his under 17.5 outs recorded because he's a guy who relies on strikeouts to get out of trouble, yet his strikeout rate is down to just over 20%, and it had been at 26% or higher the past 3 seasons. His walk rate has also gone up. So obviously, that's a big problem when you're going up a lineup as deep as the Dodgers. Plus, the Dodgers really disciplined against lefties. They actually rank 5th in strikeout rate, 2nd in weighted on base average and weighted runs created plus. Against Kikuchi specifically, they have a 298 batting average and a 532 slugging. So since we're still in the top of the first, you could still play his under. I couldn't find it better than anything minus 125. So I ended up playing the Dodgers' first 7 team total over 4.5 at plus 105. So that's in line with your first 5 over 2.5. For home teams, you just want to be careful with those team totals. If they're leading in the top of the 9th, they're not going to play the bottom. So you're missing out on a whole half inning to try to cash that team total. Right. So never play a full game team total for the home team. Look for the first 7. And right now, I believe DraftKings is the only book that offers that. But that's what I'm on today. Should be still time to play that, but I got it at plus 105 over on DraftKings. But good to know we are on the same side there. If you want more bets from all of our cappers in every sport, well, you got to sign up for VSiN Pro. And right now, you can sign up for the annual subscription and get 14 months for just $199 when you use the promo code PRO. That's PRO. 2 extra months free for less than 50 cents a day. Become a VSiN Pro subscriber and get instant access to a daily email with all the best bets from our hosts and guests, real-time betting splits from DraftKings and Circa, 24 video access on the VSiN Watch app, plus the ability to go back and watch replays. Plus, you'll get full access to VSiN.com's analytics, betting trends, and expert breakdowns throughout the year. So don't wait. Head over to VSiN.com/subscribe. Use the promo code PRO. Spell it out. That's PRO to lock in this offer. That is VSIN.com/subscribe. All right, coming up next, we do have another Game 7 today. It's happening on the ice between Toronto and Florida. Everyone's saying the Leafs gonna leaf. Not so fast. They came back and forced a Game 7, so we'll get into that and keep you updated on all these baseball scores. This is Live Bet Sunday on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
This is Live Bet Sunday on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
To Live Bet Sunday on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. I'm Grace Remington with Will Hill, getting you through today's action across all the sports. Really, we got everything in action here. So here's an update on the PGA Championship. Scotty Scheffler still in the solo lead, 10 under, but he's 1 over on the day through 7 holes. He entered the final round minus 400 to win the tournament. He's now minus 500. And for a while there, we had 8 players tied at second at 6 under par, 4 strokes back of Scotty. But a couple guys getting a little closer now. Jon Rahm and Alex Noren tied for second at 7 under. So gaining a stroke there on Scotty. They are 3 back. Jon Rahm's live odds are 7-1. Alex Noren's live odds 15-1. If you think either of them can get a little closer there, then you got Harris English, Adam Scott, Matt Fitzpatrick, Bryson DeChambeau, Johnny Vegas, and Poston, JT Poston there tied for 4th at 6 under. So honestly, this is kind of up to Scotty. I mean, how is he going to play it risky? Probably not. He's kind of a boring player, and I mean that in the most polite way possible. That's why he's so dominant. But he started the day with a bogey on hole 1, followed it up with a birdie, then also scored a bogey on hole 6, held for par on 7 and 8. But he is one of the best players, actually the best player, in bounce back rate on tour. When you're playing a championship course like this, you know you're going to bogey some. So can you bounce back? He's already done it once today. That'll be the key here. So we'll follow that tournament throughout the day. Let's get back to the hoops, though. We got a little over 3 minutes left in the first half here with the Thunder up 42-41. Will, what are you seeing as we get closer to halftime?
Yeah, just quickly on the PGA, the DraftKings is offering a winner without Scotty Scheffler market. So if you just think, all right, it's over, Scheffler's going to win, basically who's going to finish second? Even if Scheffler, even if Scheffler doesn't win, you can cash bets this way. Rahm plus 140, DeChambeau plus 330, Noren plus 400. So you can take Scheffler completely out of the mix and then just basically bet this tournament like he's not there. And that offers a different way to bet it, which I do think is interesting. No, it's look, Denver has stabilized a little bit after leading by 10, squandering that lead. OKC got up as high as 5. You think maybe OKC can pull away here? 42-41, live 6.5-point favorites, total low 202.5. So you're in very good shape if you bet. First half under, full game under. This under has been the way to play it, at least so far. It looks like the right side. So 42-41, 6.5 live total. I don't know if you had no bets right now on anything, what's the best bet in your mind?
Oh man. Hold on. Let me pull up the team stats here. So both teams right now fairly cold from 3. I wonder. So Denver is 4 for 17. Thunder are 3 for 18. I wonder if you might try middling the total here. If you bet that under 214, going over the 202.5, do you think that's a 12-point middle? Do you think that's enough?
It's a nice middle. I look so hard towards unders in game 7s that I don't want to start betting overs, just because you brought it up in the beginning. It's max intensity. These teams are tired. These teams know each other. It's more physical. Refs, I think, it's a little narrative-y, but refs don't want to blow the whistles as much. It's a game 7 for them too, where they don't want to just be the ones to decide it. They're going to let them play a little bit. You can see this wrestling match underneath with Jokic, who's getting guarded by Caruso of all people. Caruso's done a pretty good job just kind of mucking it up and being physical with him. So I would still probably stay the under 203.5. I don't like the over enough to pull the trigger here.
Right. I wonder, so I found a few betting trends that backed OKC going into this one. First of all, favorites in the playoffs, 65%. Teams in bounce back spots have gone 81, 44, and 1. That's 65%. Teams coming out of a blowout loss in the playoffs, 67, 33, and 2. That's 67%. So quite a few trends historically backing OKC in this one. Now that we have a shorter number live with them, I wonder if you'd consider laying that shorter number. They're a live 6.5-point favorite. I think I would want to get that down a key number, down to 5.5. But you were on the Nuggets going into this one, so you'd probably not be interested in that.
We are up to an 8.5-point spread now as Denver is going to yield the 3 here. So 44-41 becomes 47-41 as OKC splashes a 3. And we have had, that looks like Jalen Williams here for OKC. So what was once a double-digit lead for Denver is now on the verge of possibly being a double-digit lead for OKC. Feels like Denver's in some trouble. It feels like they're a thinner team. They let OKC get on track here, and what was a great start for Denver is now it's going to be hard to wipe out a double-digit deficit. I know that they did it in game 1. They did it pretty late, but this is a building that's going crazy. OKC looks energized. They look younger. They just look like they have more pep in their step, and Denver is going to call a timeout. It is now 49-41, so OKC up by 8. This has been a complete 180 from the first quarter, the end of the first quarter, where Denver looked like they were in good shape.
Yeah, not anything I would want to bet now at this point. Let's get some baseball updates in here, though. So the Giants leading the A's 1-0 in the bottom of the second. 2 outs for them, no one on. The Royals leading St. Louis 2-1 in the top of the ninth, 2 out, so it looks like they're about to win this game. We got the Chicago rivalry going on. The Cubs leading the White Sox 5-1 in the top of the eighth with 1 out. And Arizona, Colorado getting underway. The D-backs leading the Rockies 1-0. The first just ended. This LA series has been really interesting. So the Angels already won it. The bats really breaking out, which I don't think is too surprising because their expected batting average was 20 points higher than their actual batting average heading into this one. But the Angels leading 3-0 right now as they head into the second. And then the Padres leading the Mariners at the bottom of the second 1-0. But any bet you're keeping an eye on here, Will?
No, I would expect the Dodgers bats to come to life. What do we have for a live line for the Dodgers? Because you'd expect them to make a run here and score some runs. Plus 130. Wow, that's down 3-0 and only plus 135. I mean, they'll probably come back, and maybe we sit here in an hour and say, man, I wish we took the plus 135, but not enough for me down 3 runs. Do you like that at all or no?
I'm seeing plus 170 on. Wait, hold up. Where did that go? On ESPN Bet, the Dodgers.
Okay. It's good to shop. It's good to shop. I'm looking at DraftKings plus 135 is OKC. It's another 3. That looks like SGA. So it is 52-43. Denver's in some danger here. If this ever gets to like 14, 15 points, I don't know. As they get a steal and they're going to get a dunk on the other, and that building's going crazy. So it is 54-43. Denver on the verge here of getting run out of the building in this game.
Yeah. Just a minute away from halftime. The break coming at a really, really opportune time. As, what was that? How many was that? How many points was that run?
Another steal or another layup, by the way.
Yeah.
13-point game.
You're like 20 seconds ahead of me. Yeah. Not looking good at this point. OKC, though, I'm seeing a 9.5 point. That cannot be right. What are you seeing for them on the live line?
I mean, they're up 13. Denver's going to the line now. 12.5 total, 208.5. So your instinct to go back and buy back on a middle at 202.5 seems to be the correct one. As the live total's up to 209.5 with OKC up by 13. I mean, it's such easy offense because OKC is creating these turnovers. They're getting fast break layups. So not only are you getting points, but you're getting quick points. As Denver here really needs to stabilize this game to stay in it. And Jokic bricks a free throw here. So really, really dangerous waters here for Denver, who is on the verge here getting run out of the gym.
All right, as we are going over the NBA game here, don't forget you can also bet the ponies. And if you're ready to get in on the action, First Bet has you covered. Sign up now to access exclusive promotions and bet on hundreds of thrilling horse races every day right from your phone or computer. Visit firstbet.com. That's the number 1 stbet.com and use the promo code VSIN200 to score a 20% rebate on all your wagers for the first 60 days, up to $200. Don't miss out. Start betting today at firstbet.com. Once again, that is the number 1 stbet.com and use the promo code VSIN200 for that 20% rebate. Definitely want to get in on the ponies. Mike Somich has been crushing it. He, of course, hit the Superfecta at the Kentucky Derby yesterday. The Preakness ran. Didn't get those exactas and Superfectas, but we did get the outright winner with Journalism. And Journalism played a little bump and run there at the end. Exciting race. So make sure you turn into VSiN's horse racing coverage. It's been really exciting. All right, more live betting coming up after the break. This is Live Bet Sunday on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
This is Live Bet Sunday on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Welcome back into Live Bet Sunday on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. I'm Grace Remington with Will Hill, keeping you updated on all the golf, the basketball, the baseball, the hockey going on today in the world of sports. We have just reached halftime of Game 7 between the Nuggets and Thunder, with OKC Finishing up with a pretty dominant stretch there to end the second quarter. They take a 60-46 lead into halftime. They came into this one as a 8.5-point favorite. Right now, they are a live 14.5-point favorite, and that total has ticked back up. It closed at 214.5, was pacing for 202 for a while. Right now at halftime sits at 211.5. But Will, any moves you would make here during the break?
I would play OKC minus 125 in the second half money line. I just think that momentum is a dangerous word, but they look a step faster than Denver. Really, since that 10-point lead for Denver early on, it's been all OKC. Denver looks tired. They're thin. They're the thinner team to begin with. They're really carrying some dead weight with Porter Jr. and Westbrook and a hampered Gordon. I think OKC gets this out to like a 20-point lead or so, and wins going away. So I think this is OKC, and it's only minus 120 if you want to play it for a future, but maybe this is the last chance here. OKC to win the whole thing. I don't think Minnesota's going to beat them, although Minnesota's played them pretty well in the regular season the last couple seasons. I don't think the Eastern Conference is going to produce a champion. I think OKC minus 120 to win a championship is a pretty good bet too. So I think OKC rolls here in the second half. So OKC second half money line, OKC to win the title minus 120. I think both of those are solid bets here.
Okay, I like that. Quick update on the PGA Championship here. Scottie Scheffler's lead, getting away from him. He entered the day a minus 400 favorite to win, got up to minus 500 at one point. Now he sits at minus 280, 10 under, but he's 1 over for the day after 2 bogeys and a birdie. John Rahm and Alex Noren are the two creeping up on him. They're tied for second, 3 strokes behind Scottie at 7 under for the tournament. John Rahm's live odds, they just changed before my eyes. He was plus 400 just a few minutes ago. He is now plus 40 to win the tournament. Scottie down to minus 150, and Alex Noren 18-1. Yeah, I was hoping to. I had a Bryson ticket coming into this tournament. I got him plus 950 pre-tourney, and of course, a guy who muscles it off the tee like he does, a good fit for this course. He's been in the mix the whole time, but a few too many mistakes from him. He has a bogey and 2 birdies today. He is 1 under for the day, tied in 4th with 4 other guys at 6 under for the tournament, 55-1 now. So it feels like unless these guys at the top have a meltdown, it's going to be one of those 3. I suppose anything could happen, but we'll see. We'll see if Scottie hangs on to that 3-stroke lead. But something just feels off. If you're watching him live, it just feels off today. So I would not judge anyone for taking a live wager on Rahm here. Let's get to the baseball scores. Get you a quick update there. So the White Sox trailing the Cubs 6-1 in the bottom of the 8th. I still need some runs from the A's here, though it is a close game. Giants leading them 1-0. I had bet them plus 120 on the first 5 money line. I think we both like that side, Will. The Athletics were plus 128 on the full game line. Let's see what the live number is now, plus 235. It's a close game. And I think Justin Verlander, Jeffrey Springs are a little bit closer in the metrics. Springs is actually probably throwing it a little bit better than JV right now. So, hey, maybe you could double down on the Athletics here. The Angels leading the Dodgers 3-0 in the top of the 3rd. D-backs leading the Rockies 1-0 in the bottom of the 2nd. The Pods got one on the board against the Mariners. They are up 1-0 in the middle of the 3rd here. Any thoughts on these scores from the Diamond?
Yeah, Rahm just tied it, by the way. So they're both 9 under.
Oh.
Noren is 7 under, and then Harris English 6 under. So looking like a 2-horse race here with Scheffler minus $1.65, Rahm plus $1.50, Noren 18-1, Poston 22-1, Fitzpatrick 35-1. Those guys all seem like long shots for a reason here. So hey, we're headed for a hell of a finish. You get Scheffler and Rahm mano a mano here, tied with a handful of holes to go. That's good stuff. So Scheffler dominant coming into the round in terms of the odds and his chances of winning. Has let that slip through his fingers. Now it's basically a toss-up going forward. But no, nothing. Keep an eye on Arizona, Colorado. I mentioned I like that first 5 under. I still do. Here is it's 1-0, bottom of the second. Dodgers still trailing the Angels 3-0. That's been one of the weirder, more surprising series. San Diego up 1-0 on Seattle as we wait for the second half here of the NBA to start. Do you have anything in terms of Mets Yankees? I talked about this in the open. Wind blowing out to right. I know you're big on the weather. 2 good offenses. It's up to 9.5. Do you have anything Yankees and Mets?
Yeah, I wanted to find a way to back Max Fried here. Obviously, if the season ended today, you could make a great case for him to win the Cy Young, but I believe he's 4th right now in the odds, behind Tarek Skubal, Hunter Brown, and the third one is escaping my mind at the moment. But Max Fried probably due some negative regression. Sustaining a 1.11 ERA is that's not a thing. His expected ERA is 3.59. The FIP is 2.86. But if you look back at his last 5 seasons, he has outperformed his underlying metrics. So maybe the negative regression won't be that bad. But all of these other stats, the hard hit rate is good. The walk rate down to 5.7%. I like everything about Max Fried right now. David Peterson is giving up a lot of hard contact, a hard hit rate of almost 52%. And for context, the average for a starting pitcher should be 35 to 40%. So that's really bad. And it looks like the 4-seamer is the culprit here. It has a 409 weighted on base average, a 431 expected weighted on base average. So I want to back Max Fried, but take a little juice off of the Yankees minus 163 money line price. I'm going to bet Fried to record the win at plus 135. What do you think?
I don't mind it. It's a good angle. That's a market I probably should look at more, especially when you talk about like the Rockies games and you're always looking for a way to fade the Rockies, like team total or money line or run line. Sometimes the pitcher to get a win is the most reasonably priced one where you don't have to lay all that juice. And of course, you're going to get burned sometimes where the Rockies lose the game, but the pitcher doesn't get the win. But that's a market I do think has some value at times. How about the weather aspect of this? How much does this play in your handicap? Like if you had to bet over or under, what would you look at? In the latest, I checked before the show. I don't know if it's changed at all, but pretty heavy winds blowing out to right field. That's a short right field to begin with. And you got like Soto and Judge and Bellinger and all these different, power hitters. Is this a game where you see a lot of runs or not necessarily?
Well, right now, the projection has this game at 9.1. So right now, I think the line, it was 8.5 last night. It looks like the market has moved the right way. Ballpark Pal says we're actually going to see a negative 2% change in runs scored today. If you don't follow that account on Twitter, you really need to. When people are looking at the weather, you don't want to, it's not as important how these ballparks compare to each other. You want to get the baseline measurement for this park, let's on a weekday in May. And then what does a weekday in July do at that ballpark? Like that's what you need to know is how does the change in weather affect the baseline for this park? So right now, Ballpark Pal is expecting a little bit fewer runs. And yesterday, it looked like the temps were 76 and it should be 68 at first pitch today. So it is a little bit cooler. There's lower humidity as well. So day over day, it is getting a little bit better for pitching. So I think I would lean the under 9.5 at this point. It's juiced minus 122. So again, we're getting another hint there, but I'll stick with my my Max Fried to record a win. And I guess the better pitching weather kind of helps me out with that one too.
Yeah, absolutely. Should be a fun game. I like these Mets Yankee games. They're a lot of fun. Obviously, the subplot with Soto and him getting booed out every time. There's some, disdain between Yankee fans and Mets fans. There's a lot of energy in the building for these games. They're a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah. Love the Subway Series. I have no connection to New York, but obviously any intense rivalry, it's always going to be a good one to watch. Remember, whether you're at home, on the road, or on the go, now there are more ways than ever to tune into VSiN. Stream us live on VSiN.com, the VSiN Watch app, YouTube TV, iHeartRadio, Fire TV, Roku, or SiriusXM Channel 158. That's VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. We'll be right back with more live betting after this.